Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to provide the tools for you to manifest anything. All right, we're going to talk about a really fun subject. It's the other. It's the bad people, the nasty people, the annoying people. Now, I just shot a video like this, and somebody made a comment, and I guess it still's not sinking in. And we want to do this all the time. We want to help the people who are not awakened, all right? Why? Because they're irritating the heck out of us, so we want them to become something that we desire them to be so that we can be compatible and no longer struggling with them. I cannot state this strongly enough. They are there as an irritant for you so that you can learn how to stop trying to change them to suit your reality. And as soon as you're at peace with that, they will no longer have an effect on you. In fact, it'll be entertaining to some extent, not in a egotistical way, but you'll just realize how silly all of it is. You'll stop trying to enlighten them, and they'll stop doing some of the stuff that they're doing. So I just got a comment from a viewer, a subscriber, I hope you're a subscriber, and who said, I have somebody who is like a parent to me, and when I say nice things, she says I'm a phony. When I say, stuff that's not nice, she says I'm a phony. And then you were trying to, give my meditations to her to try and help her. What's that message? What was the message you're giving her? You're not okay. I know better than you. I'm awakened. You should try this, because it'll help you, because what you are is not acceptable to me. There's your message right there. Do you think that's a positive one? And she doesn't want it. So you're giving her something she didn't ask for. People have come to me and said, how do I, achieve this, or how can I go into that space, or feel a certain way, or get past the ego and stuff. So then I will provide tools or opinions or whatever I can for that person. All right? There's a difference between the two. If she's coming to you and saying, Barb or Jane or whatever, you seem to be like you're really at peace. Is there something special you're doing? You say, yeah, well, there's this meditation that I have, and it's helped me. And if this doesn't work for you, there are others out there, but this one works for me, and here's the link. Totally different ball game. They are now coming to you because they want to go into that space that you're in. They want to go into your frequency. So you're inviting them in. All right, so when you're going into this, you are actually the problem. There are no problems, but you know what I'm saying? The challenge is you. You are irritated by this person. Why? It's a negative energy. It doesn't feel good to be around. All right. Second of all, now you're trying all these tactics. By the way, she keeps saying, oh, you're a phony, you're a phony. She's trying to get a reaction out of you, and it's working. You're playing with it. Boom, you're going right into it. The nasty boss, horrible boss. What if you did the total opposite? That boss is so used to getting negative feedback because he or she doesn't love them, his or herself. They're frustrated. Who knows what's going on in their personal life? They obviously don't love their job, or they wouldn't treat people badly in the first place, and they're getting away with it for whatever reason. Maybe there's a negative vibe in the company. So what's the solution here? It's bothering you. Why? Well, I have to work there every day. Okay, yes, it's not pleasant. So what do? We do the opposite. Do the opposite. Have you ever seen Seinfeld? If everything I'm doing is wrong, then the opposite must be right. Right? And George did this in a Seinfeld episode, and it was working. He used to lie about what he did for a living. When he started to tell the truth that he lived in his parents' basement and didn't have a job, he was starting to get dates because people loved his honesty. This is no different. So go into the boss, and I've helped a few people with this who got amazing results. Go in and be super helpful. Super helpful, and don't react. Don't react in a negative way to their bad behavior. This is going to be difficult because it's not pleasant to be around that. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't have feelings, or that it doesn't have, make you feel like you're going into that negative space. So what if you went in and said, is there something else I can do to help you? Or, yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Or and you're not avoiding them, or, there are a lot of body language signals going on here too. You go in and you're fine. You don't react to the negativity. All right, so this relative of yours, the person who said that, she has a relative that she gave my meditation to, thank you, but again, think about how that's being perceived. What if you said to her, and it's okay to do this, I wouldn't recommend this to my boss, but hey, you know what, if they fire you, who cares? You probably shouldn't be there in the first place. But, this is your call, but what if you actually said to this person, have I done something to offend you? Or have I done something that bothers you? No, why? It's, okay, because you're talking to me in a certain way that's not very pleasant. Don't put them on the defensive. You might just say, what you said wasn't very nice, so I thought maybe I had somehow, hurt your feelings or done something to offend you. Just to make them aware that all of a sudden you're not telling them they're wrong or whatever, you're just expressing to them that, did I do something? So you're taking responsibility. Did I do something to create this? Of course you didn't. Because this is what you're doing and this is how I'm perceiving it. And that's it. All right? Don't go into some all involving, you're wrong or what. They may be totally taken aback. And then, of course, the response is, because you said, did I do something wrong? You opened the door for them to say, no, actually you didn't do anything. Or maybe they'll say, yes, you always act smug around me. Or you always make me feel like, of course, we don't make anybody feel anything. You make me feel like you're superior or that I'm not awake. And so she may be feeling bad about herself, and then you're correcting her. So then she attacks you. She's feeling these things and you probably don't even know it. So maybe you go and say that. Now that's a door you may not want to open. But if you're around this person all the time and it's a boss or whatever, even if it's a boss, I might go in and say, depending on what the situation is, only you can determine this, go into the boss and say, am I doing something that, bothers you? No, why? Well, you talk to me in a certain way that makes me think that you either, you don't like me or that I'm doing something wrong or whatever, because if there's something that I can do to correct that, I would like to, because I'd like us to be friends. And I want to be successful, and I want to help you to be successful too. And I think that we could work together really well, but I want to make sure what's going on here, because I sense that you're unhappy with me. Do not put them on the defensive, because that's what they're doing in the first place. They're already on the defensive. All right? These are tactics that totally work. You might be shocked. They might just go, whoa, I didn't realize I'm doing that. Sometimes they got nasty personalities. They grew up that way. Maybe their parents talked like that and they don't even realize it, right? It's like Americans going to another country. People think we're obnoxious, and then we all talk like that. Here we accept that. It's like Italians. They're very expressive. You think they're arguing. You're like, ah! They're going, no, we're having a good time. So just remember, it's not to be judged. It's just different from you, and it's a different way to express. So if it is negative, I say address it. Address it, or just absolutely test yourself. Don't try and correct them. Don't be the smug superior one, and just ask yourself, why is it bothering you? Again, work situation, totally different ballgame, because you're not really choosing that person within your career. You would choose a different boss. Relatives, same thing, you don't choose them, but you can still choose when you're in the room with them, or how much time you spend with them, or if you go to the family gathering at all, if it's that bad. These are all decisions that you can make, but ask yourself if you're evolving in it, or if you are just another ego fighting an ego that may be on a lower density. That means that you're not quite there either. All right, this is fun stuff. I love these subjects because we don't realize that we're the very ego that's battling the ego that is nasty, right? And that we continue that on. right? So don't fuel the fire. Ask yourself if you're bothered, why. They're saying stuff about you that's hurting your feelings. You can't. Nobody can hurt your feelings. Only your ego gets dinged. So ask yourself why it bothers you. Is it a childhood thing? Like, you know, is it an approval thing? And at work, that's something that needs to be corrected, because you will get very sick if you're around that negative energy and you're allowing it to lower your defenses. That's when people have heart attacks. They get sick all the time because your immune system's down, all right? All right, so bring on the questions, man. I love them. I think it's a lot of fun. I think that sometimes we don't even realize what we're doing. Like I said, don't be the enlightened person that's trying to correct other people. That's not an enlightened person. That's an ego taking on another persona of an enlightened person that's going to correct other people. So we still have work to do, don't we? Wow, we don't escape this stuff. You're whole and perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.